Thanks for taking some time on a Friday.
Oh yeah, you too.
I know you're busy. Wanted to, yeah, just kind of, I was meeting with Chris and James this morning about, just next steps with this. So we're really interested to hear your feedback. I know, do you want to start off with anything like that you saw in the drafts that I put out there? Or do you want me to show you how these were kind of created so you can have
Yes.
more control? Is that?
Yes. That's where I'm at. I'm like, okay, wait, what do I do? Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, sure, sure. That sounds good. So yeah, let me be happy to walk you through that. It's basically housed in these three, it's kind
Okay.
of it's one plugin technically, but these three areas. So
Okay.
I guess I'll just start off
Mm,
by showing you meeting channels because
cool.
this is where it all
Yeah.
starts.
I took off. I was
Oh,
looking in
I
there
saw that.
yesterday. Hmm.
Yeah, yeah, you took off Pleasanton. Okay.
Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah.
So that, and then I was going,
Yep.
well, okay, I was just going to assume I guess if you have a channel here, then it's automatically looking for videos that are posted or no?
Yep, yep. It's gonna automatically, as long as it's active, you could
Mhm.
deactivate it and then it won't be looking.
Okay.
I'm just curious though. I put Pleasanton in there because I thought I saw you did cover some of those meetings. Is that wrong? You don't?
No, we
I don't know
don't.
where I
We don't
got that.
cover, if anything, we do have a little overlay on, there's an 81st Judicial District and what is she called? The DA. She's
Yeah.
over their area as well as ours and some other counties. And so some of our coverage might have maybe, I
Hmm.
don't know if you saw, maybe it was something about that.
You, you know what it was? I just remembered it was your pickup locations, I think. Maybe you
Oh,
have
we do.
you got a
Yeah.
couple over there. So I think I was just looking at those as kind of just like a wide net for cities I could cover. And so if you have, yeah, but if you ever come across a meeting channel or you want to create a new one,
Mhm.
maybe one separate from Wilson County that's for a specific town, whatever you want, you just say add new meeting channel and it's pretty much just three things you got to do. You give
Okay.
it a name, you put in the URL of the YouTube, like I don't know what you would call it, the home, sort of
Their
like
URL. Okay.
yeah, the
Their app.
channel homepage
That
basically.
whole
Right
thing. Yeah.
here. Right here.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Drop that in there. Where was I? And then yeah, you can have it check once daily or more frequently if
Oh, okay.
and then initial videos to process, you can increase that number and that's just going to determine how many get pulled into this area,
Oh, okay.
which is where I should probably just set up an example for you. So
Hmm.
let me just show you. Yeah.
Okay.
That'll be better. So your channel goes in there. Okay. And then you got automation settings. This one we aren't using yet, but eventually we'll have it so that it'll automatically even process the new videos. And that term process is important.
Okay.
Okay, so
What does that mean? Yeah.
that'll come up again in a second.
Okay.
That is taking the video and kind of breaking it into topics and then summarize,
Mhm.
yeah, putting it into a public meeting summary format, and then from that you create the articles, which is like a separate step.
Okay.
Okay, because the public meeting, what we're setting it up as is like the once you process a video into a public meeting on the site, then we're going to have it so that you could create articles that summarize the entire meeting or summarize a specific topic or a collection of topics from the meeting, that kind of thing. So like the public meeting is just kind of like this intermediate step really
Hmm.
that isn't actually published on the site technically. But anyway, I'll get into that in a minute. So with this one,
Okay, there it is.
we can auto create articles, and I'm
Mhm.
gonna show you how to do that. And you can make them automatically go into draft, and
Okay.
then I've set up this category public meeting summaries. So
Okay.
that way, if you use that, this is all just for internal use right now. It's all going into a
Mhm.
category that's not really live on the site.
Okay.
You know, I mean, the articles are technically published, but they're
Right.
not accessible
No one would
to
know how to
readers.
go find them. Right.
Right, without a
Gotcha.
direct link.
Right.
Exactly.
Hmm.
So at this point, I would publish this because you just want to save all that
Okay.
info. And then once it reloads, then we can check for videos. And
Okay.
this is what that refers to. It's going to check for up to 5 videos at a time. I think eventually we'll probably be able to just set up like a queue system so that it can just go back in time and kind of do this for tons of meetings in your archives and stuff. But anyway, here's this is just some of the stuff I've been publishing on this YouTube channel.
Okay.
So this is the process step. So this is actually a good one. This is a real city council meeting. So you can hit process here, or I want to show you another angle. If I go to public meetings, this is what I think of as my queue. Those videos should be in here. There they are. Here's one. So I can process it from here, the queue, which is all the channels feeding into
Right.
one area, or you can just go to the channel level and say, all right, I want to do this one meeting from this channel.
Okay.
Okay, and then you hit process. At that point, it takes like maybe a minute or two to work through and create the summary. So we can come
Okay.
back in a second. But
All right.
yeah, let me just pause
Wow.
there. Any questions on that so far?
No?
And we are recording this, and I'll create a summary of
Yeah.
this meeting,
Cool.
and you'll be
Yep.
able to, yeah, that's the
Okay.
thing is it's like we're doing it for everything now. It's kind of
Neat.
useful.
Okay.
So yeah, sometimes I'll sit here and reload this, and you can see it's progressing. Now it's
Okay.
on topics pending.
Okay.
And if we go in and edit this meeting now, you can do that and you won't mess up anything. You can see it's making progress. It's going to take a second to load. So I'm not sure why it's not showing the transcript yet. I thought it would.
In the stage that it's in. Okay.
Right, because
Mhm.
it would need the transcript to be doing the topics. Hold on a second. This part when it's processing,
Mhm.
I wouldn't bother like trying to, get into the granularity. I would just wait till it
Yeah,
says
wait till it's done.
completed.
Okay.
Yeah, and so
Which you're still saying is just a couple of minutes.
3 hours though.
Oh,
Yeah,
3 hours.
it should
Oh,
just no, it's not going to be 3 hours. It should
okay.
be. I'm just
That's your
noticing that
video.
this is a
Yeah.
longer meeting, but yeah,
Okay.
it's definitely on the minute scale, like
Okay.
less than 5 minutes in most cases.
Okay.
So yeah, what we can do in the meantime is just look at some other
So I'm
meeting.
curious, thought popped in my mind. A lot of,
Sure.
I'm curious. I haven't gotten delved that deep into any of these in particular. I was just looking at
Okay.
it from this
Yep.
standpoint so far.
Sure.
And like, so many of our meetings are several videos within and I have to put them in a playlist because the video camera breaks it down into like 4 videos or 3 videos. I'm wondering how that's being handled or if
Oh,
it's not finding those case.
so let's see.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
bet you that's
so
what's happening.
let me make sure I heard that right. You're saying a meeting is broken up into multiple videos,
Yes.
like part one and two. Yeah, I've noticed that.
And so
Why am
the
I
way
not
that I've
seeing it?
handled it on
Yeah,
YouTube is the
right.
multiple videos I upload and they're unlisted and so that I can
Oh, that's the
so
problem. We're not
right.
picking those up because they're unlisted.
Yeah.
I just remembered that's a thing. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Okay.
So yeah, that's why I
That's
haven't
just some
noticed.
ways that I've handled how otherwise I'd have like hundreds of videos that are kind of out of order to be able to watch and that full meeting.
Right, right,
And that's how I've handled the YouTube, on the public side of it, the organization there.
right. What's the reason that you break it up into two? Is it
The
just
video camera does that.
okay?
I,
Gotcha. You use
I'm
like a separate camera, not your phone or anything.
right. We have separate cameras for that, and they both do that.
Gotcha. I mean, I'll just suggest something that Chris
Mhm.
came up with a while ago. Who's sorry, he's been on the call with us, and he's like
Okay.
really helping,
Just
yeah,
hanging out.
develop
Yep.
the prompts
Yep.
and everything. But he suggested a while ago, I think, or maybe it was James, to just stream it right to YouTube from your phone live. That is
Mhm.
actually the most efficient way to do
Yeah,
it.
because then YouTube will handle all of you don't have to worry about splitting anything up or anything even being stored locally. All the storage and processing will happen with YouTube. And then they're going to do
Exactly.
the auto generation of the transcripts and stuff Anyway, so that would be one way of getting around that, because
Good point.
a lot of cameras with those flashcards have like a file size limit, and depending on your settings, they'll just stop and start a new file. Yeah,
We've been
run
Yeah,
it.
that
We've
right.
been doing this for so many years beyond even YouTube or whatever. And
Yeah.
so it's, yeah,
Wow.
it's the way we've developed our system and having the
Right.
removal equipment. And I've gone through so many phases of this, but
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. So,
I can see it,
mhm.
Kristen. I mean, I can see your archives, and I'm searching for like the little towns around your area, and I can see that like 7 years ago you covered one of their meetings. I mean,
Mhm.
you've been really working hard at it. And one thing we've brainstormed on is like, is there a way to like crowdsource the recording step so you don't have to be there? Could we get people that are already going to the meeting to just, record it to YouTube and then we process it, from there? I don't know. It's just,
Interesting idea. Right. So, I mean, I know this is overkill, but to explain our background with this,
yeah,
I probably,
definitely
maybe I've
interesting.
told you this before, but the reason we started, again, many, many years ago, videoing our meetings was because people didn't believe what we were writing.
So,
Literally.
yeah, that was like the beginning of this
Yeah,
page, the meeting coverage. Right.
exactly. So then it
Okay.
just kind of, I
That's
always try to
crazy.
develop things based on, well, we're doing this, so we can easily just add, this layer to what someone's already doing. Hence,
Sure.
like, take a video camera, set it up, and start recording, and then you do your reporting as you normally would. And then this is just, something that we provide where, and we don't record every single meeting and not every, anyway,
Okay.
that's
Right.
sort of that like, long back end part of the history of this. But, and then of course with COVID, then that's when you started seeing, at that point is when some of the local entities started to provide that video on their
Yes, I
side and
know.
live stream or whatever. And that's been
Yep.
handy. And we just continue doing like what we've always done with our
Wow. You
service.
were way ahead of it though.
And
Yeah. That was a, yeah.
And
No,
Matt,
that's
if I
interesting.
may just mention the implementation, or the
Sure.
implementation issues with that, with
yeah,
the public meetings plugin,
Sure.
is if the length of the video is not determined by the content, it's just determined by the file size, you might end up with a break in the middle of a meeting topic that we can't really account for because we wouldn't have the
Right.
entire meeting at the same time.
Could
okay.
be awkward. Yeah, that's a
Um,
good point. Yeah.
I mean, what we could do, I guess, there, and we'd have to talk
Because
to James, where if we knew it was
mhm.
a multi-part, we could leave the videos be multi-part, but then collate the transcripts from each one into a full transcript of the entire thing,
Yeah.
and then apply that. I'm
Just so
not
you
sure how the
know,
timestamp
Yeah.
stuff would work out, though.
just
Yes,
so you know, I'm not totally blown away by this or bothered by the fact that I have this little hiccup in what we're talking about with, I'm seeing
Mhm.
this as a,
Two summaries for one meeting.
well, I don't even, I'm still also trying to look for the ones, I think my team is looking for which ones it would help them with at this point, if that makes
Yeah.
like it,
Good.
I'm not seeing it as like I need every single one of these to flow into this summary for what we
Okay.
need right now in this very moment. But I'm hearing what you say about, the streamlining this sounds like amazing. And okay, I'm gonna have to make some adjustments to what my equipment looks like. And
I have a
that,
follow-up on that as well.
Mm.
okay.
If you have like, if you're currently using nice DSLRs or something like that, with compact flash and all that, but you wanted to maybe move into the streaming thing, Blackmagic Design has several things where basically you plug the internet into this box, it does the transcoding, you just tell it what your YouTube channel is, and then any camera equipment you plug into that, it will take that video and stream it to YouTube. So it kind of acts like basically a streaming proxy box that allows you to use any of your pre-existing camera stuff, and it will take care of then taking that video signal and streaming it up. And then you could still be doing all of your same local recording. This would just be like a follow-up after thing you plug the cameras into, so it would handle the YouTube streaming portion of it.
I I feel like I do
You,
this too often, but I went a little bit over my head. I'm
oh,
lost. I'm sorry.
okay,
What is
fine.
Black
That's
Magic
okay.
Design?
Well, it was,
Because my phone was ringing too. Sorry. Okay.
let me actually, can I just share, I'll just share a quick link.
If you want to, or you could share your screen if you want.
Oh,
But
sure.
something I can look into. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I could
They're
definitely use another pass
yeah,
too, Kristen.
sure.
That was Chris.
So yeah, basically
Mhm.
they're
Ooh,
a camera company, and they make a couple of these boxes. And depending on if you want to go 4K or whatever, you just basically plug your camera into this, and you can set it up with your YouTube channel, and it gives you all kinds of stuff. But and it can do 4K if you want, does USB stuff. But the main thing it does is you plug a camera into this, you
Mhm.
give it access to the network via wherever you are. You can even like use your phone as a hotspot. So you could technically
Right.
still use your phone for network. And
Right.
basically this creates a bridge between your camera and YouTube. So in
Okay.
this case, if you just wanted to
mm,
stream directly with your phone and use the YouTube app, that would be the simplest way.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
if you wanted to kind of integrate something and keep a lot of your current equipment working and doing what it's doing, you could just add this as a step at the end, and then it would take care of the streaming of the video up to YouTube as kind of like a separate or additional step.
Okay. I understand it better. Thank you.
You
Okay.
got it.
cool. Yeah. Let me get, what else was I thinking about here? So you're covering the commissioners meeting, and so I noticed they have their own channel too.
Right.
Uh,
Mhm.
okay, so you're covering it, but they also cover their own.
Right. That's what I mean about how some of them have begun doing that, and where we are
Yeah,
already, we still
yeah,
do our own
your
because
independent coverage.
it doesn't really, I mean, it's just kind of part of our workflow. So we
Sure,
already have a channel too, that kind of thing. So we would
right,
stop doing it. And sometimes our
cool,
camera has failed, and then that has been helpful to be able to, if we needed something from it, go grab it or anything,
right.
just various things.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes I've noticed, yeah, they'll like say, "Oh, there's a technical thing, so we didn't record this week." So,
Mhm.
yeah, it's definitely nice to have that. I guess maybe go just backing up a little bit here.
And the only thing what struck me when I looked at this page you've got pulled up was that
Yeah.
having trouble with identifying what some of that was, and
Okay.
maybe I'm not sure if those are from the Pleasanton, because I don't recognize.
Yeah, these are. I can delete these Pleasanton ones.
And then because so what I
A
would
bunch.
like, and so then Commissioner's Court, Wilson County Commissioner's Court, I was
Right. That one.
lost on that one because I was like, well, which meeting is it? So I'm assuming maybe
Right.
I don't know how it got to have that title, if it's from what their video
It's
is
the
titled
video. It
as.
is the video title right now.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
yeah, this is something we were actually just talking about this morning. Hold on, let me just get rid of those. The title, yeah, like one thing another publisher said is they'd like it more like standardized, like name of the organization. So it could be this and then the date of the
Yeah.
meeting or
And
something.
I'm assuming, well, I guess you could edit that once it gets fed in. Does it
You
have that?
definitely can edit
Yeah.
anything. Yeah, pretty much everything you can edit, but we want
Yeah.
to make it, yeah, as minimal intervention as possible. But yeah, you could add that right here. So
Hmm.
topics are still not generated. So you see, you can kind of like just let it run and just hit
Hmm.
process now and wait for it.
Oh.
Or you can kind of dig in to the process and see one step at a time where it takes the transcript, it
Mm-hmm.
creates your topics list, and then it creates the summary. And on each level, there is custom prompting you can do. So like, I mean, one silly thing I'm using it for now is just like spelling corrections. So like
Mm-hmm.
sometimes the transcript gets it wrong. And so really the best way to do it would be to correct the transcript, but I'll sometimes just do it in here or in the summary and just, fix that.
Well,
Um,
okay, I'm not understanding the topics and summaries and what I'm seeing right here.
well, because this is not
This one's not
working right
generated.
now. So let
Oh,
me,
okay. Yeah.
it's hung up for some reason. So let me
Okay.
just
I
get
can
one
look at
that's
one
done.
that's, yeah, and show
Yeah,
me what you mean.
this is a better example. Okay.
Because why would you're saying it's better to edit the transcript, you're saying? No.
Yeah, I would think so, right, Chris? Isn't that kind of what you were talking about earlier? I feel like you said
If
something along
yeah,
those
if
lines.
if there's a consistent misspelling of someone's
Mhm.
name, It's much better to edit it at the source, which is the transcript, because everything else will derive from that. And even with
Okay.
some custom
This is,
prompting, if it keeps going back to the transcript, it might keep still
yeah,
making the same mistake.
exactly. This is a perfect example,
Okay.
actually.
So show me, go to
Yeah.
that. Okay.
Yeah. Well, okay, sorry. So yeah, here's your interview, and kicking for a cure, it
Mm-hmm.
got misspelled because it's
Right.
in
Yeah,
the
it's case.
title. So
Right.
like what we need to do is give it some priority to
Now,
with the
real quick.
title. But
Also,
yes,
is this also learning from the adjustments we're making
No.
as we go?
no,
No,
no, it's
it's not like
not.
that. All
That's
right.
what we need
Good.
to also do is like build in, yeah, just
Okay.
like kind of named entities. But yeah, so it will keep making the same mistakes like
And that one,
throughout the
that
article.
one may be effective to look for in the transcript, but
Well,
maybe
watch.
not. That may, yeah,
Well,
that
I
one
know
actually may work better in the
there
custom summary.
there was another WCN Live where the names were misspelled throughout the entire thing, and that's when I was going, I don't even
Yeah.
mess with this because it's like, well, I
Oh,
wouldn't spend my time to do something like that. But I mean, if there's something that
so you're saying you saw an example,
faster.
one of the
Mhm.
examples I sent you was
Yeah,
spelled wrong throughout. Yeah.
yeah, it was the
These
prior WCN Live.
So yeah, this is becoming a bigger problem because like our source material is the transcript right now.
Okay.
So really, yeah, either we need to start creating our own transcript with something with better software than what YouTube uses, or we need to, like interject somehow because it like if we just tell the LLM, like literally here's the custom instructions, just like
Oh,
use the meeting title. What is it? I want to say like the
yeah. How do you give the instruction?
I would just say there is
Mhm.
an event in this meeting called "Kicking for a Cure" and spell it correctly.
yeah. I was just thinking of a some kind of very generic prompt that we could say to
Oh,
just refer to the
Replace
headline. But
replace this with that, or
well,
yeah,
this would
this
also
will
be one of the
work.
oh,
places where the
This is a good
agenda,
example.
having an agenda would
Yeah.
really help.
Yes,
Um,
feeding in an agenda. Yeah, and so you might not have those for these, but for the city council
I
meetings,
do.
they publish. Okay,
Yeah. Hmm.
yeah. So yeah, let me just demonstrate this really
Okay.
quick. What I'll usually do is be super.
and what I would say here is after you put that in quotes, just say make sure it is correctly spelled in any summaries.
Yeah. Whoops. We haven't even gotten to the summary yet, but
And I mean, I guess technically you could
regenerate.
have a find and replace
And so
I
that
know.
little part,
interface, but still.
I know
so
that.
the
So much
custom
simpler.
instructions
Yeah.
that you just fed it, is that
Sure.
like is
Yeah.
that like telling your AI? Is that
Yeah,
the
see,
instruction? Okay.
that's what I was just laughing about is I basically did a find and replace using AI. You know,
Yeah.
we've
Mhm.
had find and replace for decades, but
Right.
so that's kind of
Wait, how do I talk to the machine?
yeah, that's kind of where we're at. We're like
Right.
back to the basics. But
And
see,
technically you can see there is a spot for the meeting agenda. So it may be, but that's never going to actually change the transcript. It's just going to basically apply a filter so that when it does see the wrong thing or this thing in a transcript, it will hopefully, address it properly.
Okay, so you're saying the AI will see the agenda and maybe compare some things if
Yes, it absolutely will. It
okay.
absolutely will.
that's
Yeah.
Okay,
what we're looking
where
at.
does the agenda go?
It can be, it's actually in a couple places where you can edit it, but mainly where we like to have it is if you go ahead and put it here on the transcript page,
We
or
actually
sorry, on the
we
topics
don't
page we were on.
we don't
Oh,
even have it anymore, do we? Wait, where is it?
Where I just saw it.
I thought we got rid of it.
It
No,
was just on the screen 2 seconds ago.
oh.
I never
It
saw.
was where it said agenda. I saw it.
Maybe it said it as a topic. Maybe it's a topic where it said agenda. You know
Or
what I
was it
mean?
on the summary tab?
Hmm.
Okay, hold on. Let's see. Maybe
No, this is no. I swear, if I could replay 30
well,
seconds,
we
I'd see it.
can. We'll go back and watch the video and check, see if there's a ghost in the machine. But here, like this is a bug. There's a bug on that page. So what I'm gonna do is just try to use the custom prompt on the summary page. For some reason, it's not working on the topics page. But you see, it carried the misspelling through from the topics to the summary, right?
Hmm.
So now I'm going to use this prompt on this page instead. That I'm just narrating what I'm doing because I've never actually I've never tried the custom prompt on the topics page, and apparently it's broken. So
Okay.
give that a minute. But yeah, you can see these are the issues.
Okay.
So I mean, do you feel like you could use this tool? Well, I guess let me back up a second. Like one question we had for you this morning was how did you kind of arrive at the formatting of these meeting summaries? Like you have these bullet points, right? It's kind of the structure. I wanted to make sure
The way this page is laid out.
is it on this page?
No,
what you're
it's the meeting watch articles we were
Oh,
looking at.
meeting
The ones that are
watches.
in, yeah,
Okay,
the ones
those
that are
are
actually in the print edition
that
under
would be
news.
under
Sorry.
news, local news, or just search meeting watch.
Oh, right.
You go to local news and look for it, or like I said, I usually just go straight to I search meeting watch because
Ah, okay.
that's part of our coverage, so it's under that local news category.
Yes.
And I don't know that I can answer that question. And as far as the
Mhm.
what's pulled in, I believe it's kind of I feel like it's sort of following like almost like minutes, the things that
Here
we're
we
just
are.
picking up on the basic items, but I'm
Oh,
not the one, I don't
okay.
ever create these myself, the reporters
Oh,
that
you're
news
not doing
does.
this. Okay.
Right.
Gotcha.
That's it's something
Well,
they've come up with.
okay. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I guess I
I
bring
mean,
it up.
actions and discussion, no, I mean, um,
Right.
I feel like we don't necessarily put every single thing in here, but that's my guess.
Well, that may be like kind of a feature of it, like you're not putting in everything because everything is too much information.
Mhm.
So I guess what I'm getting at is the way Chris develops a lot of things is he'll like take an example. So like we could take this as an example of a output that we want from a
Okay.
meeting,
Mhm.
and develop like a workflow, like a template workflow to get you to here. Or, I'm also just curious if you think like if we just keep creating these summaries for you on the back end and not publishing them, would they be helpful for your reporters in just identifying topics and then kind
That's
of
what we're trying to figure out too.
zooming
Yeah.
in?
Because
Okay.
we could
Cool.
can you go to one of the meeting summaries of one of our meetings so we can
Uh-huh.
compare
Yes.
that to just that little section there?
So, yeah, let's see. The public meetings, that's the channels.
Like I'm thinking of the actual like the summary portion because that has a very specific template that makes it look that way. And the reason I bring that up is if you wanted to basically use maybe an expanded version of the template that your reporters are using, where they're generating maybe like 75 or 100 words for each meeting, you could take a similar template, but just flesh that out so that
Mhm.
this summary here, the meeting summary on the left here, would
Right.
look more like your meeting watch
Yeah.
formatted with just
Right.
more extensive detail included generated by the AI.
Okay.
Because Matt, if you scroll through that, you can,
Yep.
see it's got openings and all that, but we could change that to be the actions, to better, if even you want to tab back over to the meeting watch
Mhm.
article
Yeah.
again, just to, look at the way that is, it's got the meeting time, actions, discussions, who was there. And so maybe we could like do that, but
Right.
do that for each topic. So you've got the meeting and then you've got topic one, actions, discussion, and it, or, the vote. And
Right.
then topic two, actions, discussion, and the vote, that kind of thing.
Right. Interesting idea. Yeah.
Because the initial approach was basically just giving you a sense of, what was being discussed. It's
Mhm.
a good bit more narrative, even
Mhm.
though it's still factual, saying this is what happened. It is a bit more narrative than kind of like the bullet point single sentence thing. So, there could be maybe a synergy between the two polls, between what the meeting watch article has in it versus what a full meeting summary might have.
Okay.
See here. Yeah, I'm just like kind of noticing at like a really high level. You've got this meeting which was like over an hour, and I'm just noticing how completely different structure. Ours is, more of a timeline, and
Mhm.
yours is
Ah,
really
that's a
more of a
good term.
summary. Yeah. Yeah, that's the difference. So I just don't know if, people are going to want to read this, or do we need to process it into something more like this? Or another thing that Chris is working on is some prompts so that from here we could say create an additional article on this one section of the meeting,
Mhm.
or these three sections of the meeting because they're all kind of related, you know.
Basically, what we would be doing is giving it a new topic that would be the subtopic for whatever you want the new article to be, and then we just send that portion of the transcript, and we could include any of the agenda stuff as well to get the spellings and whatnot. But you just end up feeding it just that subsection of the meeting so that it can have more, it can spend more thinking time making more in-depth articles from that versus when you just throw the entire meeting at the AI, you end up with a different level of detail.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, but the bottom line is we want this to be useful for
Right.
you. So,
Right.
you know, that's the reason I bring this up. Like, if
Yes.
this is what you're already producing, can we do that?
Okay.
Yeah, like, I don't know. There's just,
I think where I was at with,
yeah,
so I know that I think when we're all said and done, I'm gonna see if I can get my editor and lead reporter to probably watch this video and
yeah,
hear what
right.
you're saying and these options and this, and see kind of where they land on it too. Because there was use in that one video I asked you to put on there that was the East Central one because we
Yeah,
couldn't get there and we didn't have anyone. And I wanted her to see, okay,
awesome.
well, here it is now. And it was
Right,
helpful, but
right.
I'm not, I'm not in that role of producing and interpreting and turning it into, what they're doing. So I don't have
So, okay, right.
all that
So,
down.
so like normally you're saying they would take this
They
East
took that
Central.
video summary and it
Yeah.
helped them to produce this.
Okay, gotcha. So this was the final product, but normally they would have to go to the meeting. They would record it themselves. Okay, gotcha.
Or right, she would have had to sit there and watch the whole thing, whoever was going to, turn it into something. And it
Right.
didn't have to require as much because now you've got like more detail and it's even telling you, okay, like where it is in the video. So if you do need to go, wait, what are they talking about? And go to that portion and
Yeah.
listen. You don't
Right.
have to sit through the entire meeting, but you can
Right.
get a sense of, okay, even looking at this, okay, do we need to write a story on anything that was in here, or does it just
Yeah.
be turned into the
Right.
basic meeting watch format and just, like all
Right.
those things. So I know
Right.
she was able to do that and that this was a helpful tool. And
I'd
that's
love to hear how, yeah, I'd love to talk to her about that. Yeah.
Because what could be interesting there is if you come up with a prompt
Mhm.
that from this initial stuff here, you can come up with a prompt that would actually
Yeah.
generate what she had to do, as that next step
Yes.
that she did
Mhm.
Yeah.
manually of taking all this info that was great and all this from this initial summary stuff, but she still went and parsed through and created that more concise excerpt or summary for the meeting watch itself. And we may be able to, with some extra prompting, maybe even doing a custom
Mhm.
summary instructions up here at the top. I'm not sure if like maybe we just put a template in, or Matt, do
Mhm.
you want to do something off the cuff?
Yeah, I was just gonna say I've tried this before and I don't always follow through. So hold on. Like, are you suggesting I just say
I was actually going to say
what would the, yeah.
copy the text from meeting. No, no, this is not what you're typing. This is what I would
Okay.
advocate to do is go
Sure.
back to that other article. Go back to the meeting watch article,
Oh,
copy
we
it.
don't have that. That's
So
not the right one.
copy,
oh, but
sorry,
hold on
can
a second. Is this the same meeting?
Mm-mm.
it shouldn't matter if it's the same. It
I
shouldn't
Oh,
matter
see.
if it's
okay.
the same. Just
Use.
copy one
Okay.
for one
Okay.
of the, yeah, just
Like
do
this.
that. So
Oh,
copy
okay.
that. And then
Yeah.
back in the prompt, say, I want you to regenerate the summary using this as an example.
Yeah.
And
That's
just see how well the custom prompt stuff, because I was
right.
hoping that it would kind of just usurp the custom prompt,
Override.
because
Yeah.
technically the system prompt that I made that generated the first version of this still exists, and
Mhm.
I'm not sure if the way James has it, it's still throwing both of those in, or if this is like the only prompt that the AI is getting. So that's why this is a
Mm.
little off the cuff. But we could actually ask for the custom instruction to completely replace the default prompt. And
Yeah.
then we could ensure that it would adhere much, much closer if you wanted to kind of use it this way.
Okay.
Right. Right. This is a very like quick and dirty test. Like normally, I think Chris, you would kind of turn this into a
These would be like
template.
more placeholder type of
Yeah.
things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you would say like organization name, meeting, time and date or whatever. Yeah, the thing is this always takes like a random amount of time and sometimes I
Mhm.
forget about it and then
Okay.
I never actually get my answer. So let's let that just run here separately. But yeah, I think the one other thing I just wanted to point out just for the video and for the record is like I mentioned it briefly, but the public meeting is not a public facing thing. It's not like content. It's kind of just like back end for you.
Right now,
Well,
in
that's
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 what
kind
it's
of
intended as.
that's kind of how it's intended as because
Okay.
then what you do is you create articles that are kind of like they're branches from
Okay.
the meeting, okay?
So this is an internal tool.
Yeah, this is the internal part of it, and
Okay.
this would be like what we would show a reader, which is it still looks like a summary, and it's essentially it's the same content that we saw over here, but I'm just pointing it out because it's a separate post type than like public meetings are a new post type that we created that's not actually published. You need to then create an article
Oh, okay. I see what
that
you're saying. This other
yeah,
one, this is what
this is
our goal is to get to this is what would be public.
exactly, yeah, and I can't show you right now because it's regenerating the
Hmm.
summary, but it should pretty much match that
Hmm.
summary. So, and I am working on James is gonna make it so that this doesn't take up so much space on the screen. That was
The video.
yeah, the video. It's just I mean, I don't know if you like it. We're gonna put it over here on the right,
Oh, okay.
basically. So it's just
Cool.
more out of the way. And then you'll be able to see a lot more of the summary at once. What else was I
Okay.
gonna say about this? I guess, yeah, the only other thing is like we'll create articles from this. So you can create like an article that's a full summary of the meeting, but then eventually we'll have an option to create an article that's just a subtopic, or it's just a handful of topics. So
Mhm.
this is where all the
Intention for that. Okay.
yeah, and this is where all
Right.
the child articles from this meeting would
Oh,
be
okay.
listed, kind of. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's there for you to check
Okay.
out. Appreciate
So,
you
yeah,
doing.
thank you. Let me just
Yeah.
play back what I understand from I guess, where I need to understand things from.
Yeah.
So, I've got the channels. I need to, if there's something we're looking for that we know is there, I need to go and tell it inside of the all public meetings or public meetings or one of those,
Yeah. Either, yeah, if you know which channel it's in,
or
which
maybe from the channel
you're
itself. That's where we
probably,
were at.
yeah, that might be
Meeting channels.
easiest because this is a list. This is a chronological list, and I don't know. Either way, you could come in here and search in here. That would be one
Oh,
way.
well, so like if we know we've had a video and we know it's on
Right.
YouTube, but okay, if it's
Right.
unlisted,
If it's
that's
unlisted, then
we can't.
that's where, yeah, it won't show up in either place. We won't be able to really access it for this.
Okay, it
It
won't.
does need to be published. So, yeah, I guess we kind of
Okay,
went on a tangent when that came up earlier.
Just
Are
yeah.
you?
a quick question then, Matt. Can
Yeah.
you create a new public meeting like from scratch?
So that's yeah, actually you can't right now. And I brought that up with
Okay.
James. We're gonna add that. But yeah, it's actually lost that function
Where
that
like if you did
yours had.
have yeah, where if you did have like a
Just
a
the
YouTube
URL.
video, yeah,
Right.
right, where you could
Just
just
one
add that
video.
video to be and not
Oh,
necessarily have to go through the pipeline. Yeah.
Yeah, we actually have to start all the way at the channel. So yeah,
Got
yeah, it's kind of a
okay.
shortcoming. We're gonna change that. So yeah, like that's a good point
So,
because you don't necessarily, yeah, like you might want to summarize. Like, are there, I don't know, this is kind of getting speculative, but like, are there other meetings or like podcasts in the area that you might want to like summarize just a couple videos from?
not that I'm aware of,
No.
but I was
Okay.
curious. But this is tied to YouTube channels. This is
Yeah, it's
okay.
really, yep, it all starts with the
Okay.
YouTube.
All right. All right. Let me think. Okay. So we'll have to change our process which is okay because there's things to gain from that. But I would need to change the process so that we could get the things that we're working with into this feed. In the meantime, things like
Right.
meetings that we know are recorded and put on YouTube and
Yes.
that we weren't able to attend is, you know, those are ones like the most advantageous at this point to help us do something with.
Right.
That's kind of like where we're sitting right now.
Right. Yeah, and just so that I totally understand this, what happened, did you say that you would normally attend this school board meeting but couldn't, or
I think
she?
honestly, in that specific entity, for that one, we have someone, a freelancer outside of our office, who sometimes can attend those, but often will write from watching the meeting by video, whether live or later.
Right. 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 Okay, got it.
That one
Yeah,
in particular. Mhm.
got it. I was just curious. Okay. Yeah, so yeah, it seems
Now,
like they cover it
but
themselves.
this leads me to be thinking about, okay, so figuring, I know there's a couple of entities that are live streaming and finding out, other than, you know, the Commissioner's Court. I know the city of Floresville, although we're heavily at all of those things,
Yeah, it
obviously,
seems like you are. Yeah, they
but
do.
they do live stream, but I don't know that they're putting them on YouTube.
So, yeah, this is something I've run into,
Mhm.
and a lot of people use like sort of government CMSs, like
Oh.
Civic Plus is
Mhm.
one.
Mhm.
There's a couple of vendors, and they'll
Okay.
host the video there. And at some point, we might be able to pull those and work with them, but right now they do have to be on YouTube. So that's kind of like my first check if
Okay.
I'm trying to cover a new community. But yeah, I'm sure that I checked for this already and it's not on YouTube, but
Okay.
they
Yeah, I'm
probably
actually
Laverne.
on their site and it looks like they record things on Zoom and post them directly on the city website.
Oh, okay.
And
So
then the city of
hmm,
Lavernia, I believe that I think they are videoing their stuff, and I've never gone to look and see
okay.
what they're
Yeah.
doing. Yeah.
Yeah, I just
So
put a link to the Floresville page so you can kind of just see that as an example.
okay. Great.
It's in our
So
Slack there,
I think I
sorry.
came across it. Yeah, no problem. I got it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, these are on Zoom and then they just embed it here.
Yeah, I'm guessing, I mean, yeah, if Zoom offers an embed, I mean, it may
Oh,
be
it's actually
possible.
Facebook Live.
Oh,
Mhm.
geez,
Yeah.
okay.
So Facebook we don't work with yet either, but
Yeah.
we could. Yeah, these are some of the things that we come
Hmm.
up across. But I mean, have you seen some of like the way that some of them display their video? This is Civic Plus, perfect example. I don't actually even see any videos, but a lot of towns when they have this dedicated like CMS, like they put all this time into hosting it, but then it's often hard to access. You know, it's
Mhm.
on these kind of old looking websites. I don't know if it's even mobile friendly. So
Mhm.
I guess what I'm saying is that maybe a service that we could provide as the newspaper is to kind of repackage these videos on either on our site because I mean now I'm just thinking about how we now have a video player on DMS. You
Right.
know about that, right?
Yeah.
So right now we're not even using that, but eventually that will
Right.
be a big part of the public meetings, and maybe
Okay.
we can just eventually take it all in-house
So
I
I'm
don't
curious
know.
back on the Lavernia, I mean, the Floresville
Okay.
videos for the city of Floresville.
Yeah.
I would check to see can any of those be downloaded?
So I
You check
think
that soon.
They,
Chris away
I have a way of
is
pulling a
his ways
video
Oh.
to Facebook.
from Facebook,
Yeah.
downloading it, and then basically I just re-upload it to the our public meetings channel so that then we
Right.
can use that to
Mhm.
share with publishers.
So
Yeah,
like it's
just
not like necessarily a public way of doing it or
Well,
not
I mean,
okay.
technically, you're republishing their content and
Mhm.
making it
Yeah.
publicly available on a channel that they didn't do to begin
Right.
with. But since it's a civic meeting, we're looking at it as a public service, and no
Well,
one's yelled
also,
at us.
right.
yeah, there's that side of it, but also like the algorithm doesn't have any idea because they're not putting it on Facebook, so they don't see like a duplicate video being put up. You know what I'm saying? They're
Mhm.
not putting it on YouTube. They're just putting it on Facebook. So
Right.
we put it on YouTube. There's no like video for YouTube to say, "Oh, this is already out there."
But
So,
I guess I'm asking a dumb question back to you, Chris.
yeah.
But did you say then there's a way, I mean, sometimes you can download videos from the different places
Yeah.
if they've given
Sometimes.
permission or if they've allowed it.
Right.
But it sounds like, so I don't know what the case is, or you just have your back end ways of being able to download
No,
them?
no, there's just a
Okay.
third party. Yeah, I just
Just trying
found
to
a third
understand.
party. I just found a third party app
Oh,
that will allow you to download videos from various video platforms.
interesting. Okay.
And Facebook just happens to be one of them. And since this is public, this is a public
Yeah.
Facebook link, then
Yeah.
that app can have access to it, and it'll just download the entire like 1.5 gigabyte file or whatever, how
Yeah.
big it is. And then yeah, I just upload that directly back up to YouTube so that it can then be made public that way as well.
I see. Okay.
Because I'm just not sure if they provide the same kind of embedding API access that Google does with YouTube. They just provide a lot of that built up. It's like up on version 3. You can get all kinds of really
The
cool
app that you're talking
interactions. No, just Google in general provides just a lot more developer friendly stuff for third parties to interact with the platform in a way that Facebook just does not.
Okay.
Well, here's a funny thing. As you say that, here it is embedded. They actually do have it embedded, the Facebook video.
And so I was just be curious if they
Yeah.
also allow like the timestamp skipping
For
and
sure.
stuff like that, which is one of the really key parts of
Doubtful.
the
Yeah.
YouTube API. Yeah.
So if I share it, can I share a timestamp, I wonder? Yeah. No, it's all interesting. Lots of questions.
Yeah, I thought you could like go to a place and have it share the timestamp, but
Yeah, there's just not a ton of options here. Oh, wait, yes.
there it is. Yep, there it is. Okay, so technically that's what it would take.
Yeah.
So that would be the link with that timestamp. That would be the link that would be embedded in the summary. And then what James does is with that embed, it just feeds that to the player that already is there, and that creates the skip to the next spot. So it may
Yeah.
be just a matter of implementing the syntax for Facebook to be able to take advantage of those as well.
Oh, I see. From this, you've been able to gather that Facebook might be a possibility. Is that
Exactly. Yeah, because this
maybe
is
not like with the channel thing, but
Okay.
it may be just being able
Maybe.
to find individual meetings that you want to make summaries of and embed. That may be possible. I would hope at some point we would be able to do that just so we can accommodate not everybody using YouTube.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know, probably 10%, and it would simplify things for this one. I mean, rather than trying to copy the videos or something and re-upload. So, yeah, something to think about. Yeah, Floresville. Yeah, I guess if there's any other, like, I'm trying to figure out a way also to get a sense of like your coverage area and like what cities should I be looking to see if they have a YouTube channel.
Yeah, so Floresville, obviously, Lavernia,
Yeah.
the main ones, Stockdale and Poth. I doubt they do.
I don't think they do. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I checked those already.
And then we
Okay.
do, I mean, I could give you like in an email or something, some of the entities.
If you have something like that handy, that would be great. I mean, like I said, I just use the pickup locations, but if you have more cities than are covered in there, then definitely I'll research them. If nothing else, I'll get them on a spreadsheet that I'm creating and just, be able to note, yeah, these guys are only on the government site or they're on Facebook, right now, and just kind of have all that ready for when we can
Of course,
do those.
my team probably knows. Everybody's got the ones that they cover, so I'll probably start with that. Okay.
Great.
They know because they're there and they see, how they're doing those. So
Well, and it's also like a question of like, is there a news desert that we could branch out into that, is not being covered right now by anyone near you? That's like, are you on the, edge of a news desert anywhere? I don't know.
Right.
Just an idea to think about. All right, cool. Anything else you want to go over, Kristen?
No, I think I have a much better understanding of how all this works, so I can figure out how to, like I said, I have interest from the newsroom. They're looking.
That's
they're trying to
awesome.
understand, what we
Right.
can do and see how we can use this tool.
Right. That's
And
amazing.
yeah, as it stands right now, I mean, looking to see how we can use it to write things that we're not able to get to or present,
Right.
stay on top of stuff like that. And,
Right.
we're trying to be open to these possibilities. So
That's awesome.
nice.
Yeah. And we are super open to all the feedback, anything that you have. And if you want to, you know, schedule a time with your team to get together, we could jump on and
Okay.
just kind of free form answer questions like this or whatever you want.
Okay.
And Matt, if I may add, one of the things that's super
Yeah.
helpful is we're trying to put ourselves in the headspace of our publishers and come up with things, but we can only really go
Best
so
we
far
can.
with that internally. And
Yeah.
that's why we just really appreciate your time and feedback so we can use that to help continue like the actual development side, but also, not just trying to sell you that, but trying to get, you're helping us
Right.
make it better and build it better.
Yeah.
You couldn't have said something truer, Chris, but that is exactly what our hometown has been doing all these years.
We appreciate that.
That's just incredible.
Yeah. Well, excited to continue it with you on this project. We're very excited. And yeah, I just really appreciate you participating and looking at it for us. And yeah, we'll just, keep generating these drafts and we can follow up, anytime.
Okay, sounds good. I'm going to get my guys to watch this. And then I do think that
Right.
the next step is to actually bring them into another meeting like this and hear their feedback directly as well.
Yeah,
And some of those specific questions to be answered and stuff. Yeah.
for sure. Sounds good. Yep. We'll get the summary out as soon as it's ready.
Awesome.
All right.
Thank
Great.
you.
Thanks a lot,
It's a
Kristen.
pleasure.
Have a great weekend.
You too. Bye-bye.
Talk to you
Thank you.
later. Bye now.